President Otisumi. Our governors Otisua. Mr. President Otisumi. Hey, Senators Otisua. Ojoojúmọ́ ìwọ Yankee bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n dùgbẹ́ international relationship rọ́bà kiri ọ̀wọ́ ẹlẹ́sẹ̀. Ọwọ́ dára ní sàmá sún wọn lílé àwọn àpò ẹ̀. Iṣẹ́ máa máa lọ kú wí Naija ìlú olóyin. Naija ìlú rẹ́kọ́dẹ̀ dọ́mọ yín wọ Yankee. Naija ìlú rẹ́kọ́dẹ̀ dọ́mọ yín wọ Politico. Naija ìlú rẹ́kọ́dẹ̀ dọ́mọ yín wọ Yankee. Naija ìlú rẹ́kọ́dẹ̀ dọ́mọ yín wọ Politico. Káwọn ọmọ wọn bá wálé ní parọ́dún ròlùdé. Iṣẹ́ máa máa ọ̀pẹ̀sẹ̀ wa mẹ̀kúnnú láì ní. Mẹ̀kúnnú ikọ̀ bàlámù mọ́ra iṣọ̀ mọ́ra jalè. Kíyẹ̀ bá yà kó tọwọ́ sáàsì tó lè rè páyà rẹ̀.
Thank you so much for joining me. I know some of you who are Indomie generation, you may not remember that video or that music. It was something of our own teenage years. That video is probably about 20 years or 15, between 15 and 20 years old, right? That was what it was way back then. Today, it is worse. Share the video. We are about to start. Thank you very much. And please, if you don't get notification that Maiyegun is live on YouTube, check your notification settings, okay? Which simply means that you should check if all notifications are set on. That means you won't miss anything, okay? Check that out. You don't understand. When Biafra comes, whichever one that comes first, okay? I know I'm going to be welcomed on all sides. That's why I told you, and I've been telling people that, listen, we might all be looking for different things, or let me say we are looking for the same thing, same things differently. But if we listen to ourselves, if we are very, very attentive, You see, the likes of Tifnumbu and the army of violent, what do you call it, brigand they have put together, right? They will not be able to have a say or in anywhere be able to stop us, not just in Yoruba land, but everywhere. Tell me, how is the audio on your own device? I don't want to get fully into this. Then we'll begin to hear, oh, I can't hear you. The audio is gone. It is so bad whenever that happens. So tell me, how is the audio on your own screen? Thank you very much. You have been reading about different social media platform where and different platform as well on the social media, right? Where people have been alerting us about the incessant and increasing threats from the army of Tifnubu in Lagos. I want to talk about it too, but I don't want to raise your fear on the program tonight. I want to try my best to break every segment of this down enough for you to know that at the end of the day, there is actually nothing to worry about. The rally is going to hold, except if the organizers feel like for security reasons, they are postponing it, which maybe many of us, as disappointed as we'll likely be, we have less say on what happened. They picked the dates. They have their reasons. And indeed, according to them, nobody will stop Yorubas from gathering in Lagos. Any part of Lagos State they choose. They will go there peacefully. They will talk to people about Yoruba nation. They would speak to the people about why what is pretty much better for us as a people right now is to rally together and bring ourselves and a voice together and demand for the breakaway from the current contraption. Even if those who pretend to be our representatives are benefiting from it, it's going to be peaceful. We have seen it everywhere. There's no violence. There's no stampede or anything. The biggest one that happened in Ekiti, you all saw it, right? There was no fight. So they won't tell us that there are no political thugs in Ekiti. There were no political thugs in Ondo. There were no political thugs in Ibadan, in Oyo, or in Abeokuta, in Ogun State. There were political thugs everywhere, working for PDP, APC, in alliance with different governments in these states. But they are Yoruba land. They are what? They are Yoruba land. As long as the Yorubas want to gather to talk about their future, it doesn't matter. Whatever they feel like, what they hold them is to provide them security. You provide them security, orderliness for the hours they're going to gather. That is the right thing to do. But we have been hearing that they are not going to do that. But I'm going to allay your fear tonight. There is absolute nothing to worry about. And I'll tell you, yes, the only people that should be worried and that are in fact worried are the household of Lagos landlord, the Lagos artificial landlord, Bola Tifnumbu, the #1 Jaga bandit, the Jaga addict, the Jaga weary, the Jaga nuisance, and the Aṣíwájú àwọn olè, Aṣíwájú àwọn agbèrò, Aṣíwájú àwọn agbénipa. We have no objection to it. He should be worried. He should not be worried because of the fact that Yorubas want to gather. Because everyone who is going to group together in that Lagos state on that date, July 3rd, they are Yorubas from every part of Yoruba land, including Lagos state. And those they said they are going to attack them, I would believe they are Yorubas too. But yes, they are worried. And here is the reason why. Tifnumbu dined with the devil. And there are so many people who fell into that trap. And usually, the reason why many people feel so angry when we talk about this is that, it doesn't really feel good if you have ever been scammed and then you realize that you have been defrauded, but you can't own it. So you have to create something to make you feel like it is not that bad. Maybe it's just a mishap. That is the situation where so many people who have been following Tifnumbu political career, especially in the last 21, 22 years, he has become a total disappointment that when the facts are laid bare, the people who have invested so much hope in the likes of Tifnumbu, while he led them into the political jungle that has only resulted into one single thing, which is not just a threat to him, it is also now a threat to the entire Yoruba race. But we are defeating that threat. For 22 years, the legacy left by those that Tifnumbu brought to government, empowered, made governors, made this, made that, through their Baba Sokwe mentality in Lagos that everybody knows. But they have come to get used to it. The result of all of their political charade for the past 22 years in Yoruba land, the brickbats, the back and forth, all the old gaming and all of that, in the name of representing Yoruba, has brought us nothing but underdevelopment, unemployment, corruption, impunity, and not just that. We have insecurity. To now make it worse, we now have terrorism. So he's lost his balance. He's lost his vision, whatever vision he probably thought he had. He's lost it to the point that he then made the fatal one in 2014, 2015, when he thought it was an opportunity for him to become president. Then or later, a miscalculation that made your cerebral Tifnumbu, who has produced all these Lagos state governors, as they have sold them to you and you have drank the bobo for years, then you go to Lagos and they say, Lagos is now the second most stressful place to live on earth, second most stressful place to live, city to live on earth. You have no drinking water, and no real drinking water. You have, 80% of your road are complete death traps, but you live through them anyway. You spent the useful hours of your time, of your day in traffic, but you get used to it anyway. On that different illegal taxation that comes from different parts of organs of this fake progressive government they put together for you in Lagos State. And last, they told you have a mega city. But I have repeatedly told you that you don't have any mega city. You have a mega slum where just ordinary drinking water, 22 years of their leadership, they couldn't make that at least something of pride for at least, let's say, 50% of you in Lagos State. Failure, corruption, and all of that, which has now resulted into them having their own army of violent, youth. You know who I'm talking about? They became so famous, so powerful, that Even one of them became a motivational speaker where everyone and their children in Lagos, once you find your way around there, you will likely want to be like MC Olueron. Why won't you want to? That is the legacy of Tifnumbu in Lagos State. But yet, we have those who we call the Lagos Abobakus. They have their cousins from Oshogbo that we call the Oshogbo Alimajiris. You have the crumb eaters, the ass lickers, the crumb chasers, the obedient fools, the sophisticated morons, and the humbled slaves of this world. When you face them with these facts, they will change it for you. Just a second, okay? We don't want anyone to interrupt this chat. Thank you very much for calling my attention to somebody disturbing your attention in the comment section on YouTube. If you have any other person who comes around, because I'm about to talk about that kind of a person anyway. So when you face them with these facts, then they will try to blame somebody else. So when you look at all these Lagos Abobakus, the crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, the ass lickers, right? When we call them the Lagos Abobakus, whenever you see them and face them with these facts, that the legacy of the man they are trying to bring up to disrupt the further progress of Yoruba land, which has never really fly except for those Hallelujah boys, then some of them find it very, very convenient to blame the Igbos. You know why? It is very convenient. But after Nigeria, since 1999, after Nigeria, the next state with the highest internally generated revenue in Nigeria is Lagos State. And those who pay this tax are those who are living in Lagos State, who have businesses in Lagos State, which includes the Yorubas, the Igbos, the Hausas, the Fulanis, and everybody working and living in Lagos State legitimately. Now, when democracy came after the military madness, Lagos State became the state with the highest internally generated revenue in the entire Nigeria. Lagos State is the only state in Nigeria that if Nigeria break up today and Lagos State become a country of 20 million, 22 million people, Lagos State can generate more than 5 trillion naira every year. As we speak today, a fraction of what goes to Lagos State that make Lagos State the state with the biggest revenue, comes from taxation and all of that. And that they make from a paltry 100 or 150 billion IGR. When Tifnumbu came in, somebody sold an idea of using technology to, to collect taxes in Lagos State using this data stuff. Tifnumbu agreed, and he invited what the company called Alpha Beta. Alpha Beta, who sold the idea of how to capture people in Lagos State to pay tax and increase the IGR. They were supposed to be in partnership with the government of Lagos State. You know what happened? Tifnumbu said before he could give them the contract to help them do that, the rejig of their taxation, tax in Lagos State. He wanted a member of his family, member of his political brigandage, right, to be part of those who will be the directors of the Alpha Beta. Okay, this was way back in 2001. By 2002, they've already struck the deal. They've given him the share of the company. But when they came in, they have Lagos Inland Revenue Service. That is this body, the agency under the Ministry of Finance, the agency responsible for collecting local taxes in Lagos State. But Tinubu saw an opportunity, dark eyes and dark ages, right? So it was an opportunity. He decided to bring that same Alpha Beta in. Yeah, you will say it was a good idea. It wasn't until you heard this, okay? Now, Alpha Beta managed to put all this together. And once Tinubu saw that, Alpha Beta became the company collecting taxes for Lagos State. Then they have to remit after taking 30% of that revenue. Now imagine, you are collecting almost 300 to 400 billion naira every year, and you have to take 30% of that. The company that proposed to generate tax for Lagos State, they proposed to take the 10% of the revenue. Tinubu, being the governor, jacked it up to 30%. Afterward, right, he kicked out the guys who brought the idea and then replaced them with his own guys. And since then, Alpha Beta has been generated. Whatever they declare as what they generated in Lagos State is what they declare. Now, you would expect them that, okay, maybe you will invest that same money into power. You will invest that same money into real road construction, not just this so siphoning, but for 20 years, after trillions, over 20 trillion naira generated, as well as revenue collected from Abuja. Now you see what Lagos State is, Abi. He succeeded as well in using the money he realized from Lagos State over the years to build what he called the political empire, what do you call the mansion in the sky that he actually calls an empire, which is about to collapse right before him. So in 2015, he made the worst political blunder of his life. I told you the story that led to that. He decided to partner with a jihadist simply because he thought a jihadist taking over power in Nigeria would give him an access, very close access, to become the president. Now, whatever all this madness going on in their head, that backfired. It was rubbished. He ran away from Nigeria and he was called back. They made him the reconciliator general of APC. Last, no reconciliation, no nothing. The parties in tatters. They gave him the chance to bring Oshiomole. All of these were arrangements just for him to agree with them again for the second time so that they can then punish all of us. Today, he came out to admit that there is insecurity all over the country. People are agitating to break up from the country. He agreed that, people have the right to do all of that. But what he didn't agree with is that there should not be any breakup of Nigeria. He is now appealing to Bokwari that the best thing to do is to restructure. If Bokwari can try and restructure, that maybe everybody will be fine. Maybe there will be no war. There will be no all of this again. Now, these are the same guys who used all of their time in 2014, 2015 to tell you that the solution to Nigeria problem was to restructure Nigeria. They said they were coming with that blueprint of how to restructure Nigeria. Fake Pastor Ruga was everywhere telling you that it is doable. That all you need is that if Nigeria is restructured, people can control their resources, people can control their own affairs, and all you needed to do was just to vote for them. We told you it was all a lie. Now, just a few days ago, well, before I even get to that, now all these killings are going on. Some people who are those I call these trumpet boys, hallelujah boys, they were jumping up and down like all these, they were jumping up and down telling people that, yes, they have messed up. They are not even bold enough to confront the fraud that they forced on the rest of the people. They are not bold enough to call out the fake Pastor Ruga. Now, all of them are now becoming motivational speakers, telling people that Nigeria needs good leadership. Nigeria needs leaders to unite them. Nigeria needs to unite. All of a sudden, the people who told you that all you needed to do was to give them the change advantage. Bokwari was going to restructure Nigeria. And all this agitation would die down. Now, Bokwari came out and he said, they are just stupid people asking for restructuring because they don't know what they are talking about. They came out to beg you who campaign for restructuring. One of the things that you can tell that there is a Stockholm syndrome suffering. I mean, people are suffering from Stockholm syndrome in that contraption, which they have dragged us into as a Yoruba people in that contraption called Nigeria. Stockholm syndrome. In 2014, 2015, Fashola, the Saleh Barack Obama, all these Aregbe Mogbu and co, and many of these guys, they were everywhere telling you that one of the best, one of the top agenda of Bokwari was to give Lagos State a special status whereby Lagos State can indeed, get special attention from the federal government. When Abule Ado bomb blast happened, Adegator, Governor Point and Kill in Lagos State, he took pictures. He took drone pictures, took them to Bokwari. Bokwari collected the pictures, the album, put it inside the bin. Nothing was done. When NSAS happened and their paid thugs unleashed mayhem on the protesters and peaceful protesters in Lagos, their military killed peaceful protesters, their policemen shot and arrested, killed peaceful protesters, and many of them were arrested and put in jail for crimes that was pretty much not legal. However, Adegator, Point and Kill, Sonweiku, that's the moment we started naming them. That's when we named him there, Sonweiku. He took pictures again of all the burnt building and they built burnt government properties and everything to Bokwari. Bokwari collected the pictures, the album, and he dropped it in the bin. Recently, he gave an interview that recorded the interview, right? He said, when they burned down Lagos State, and they burned down the buses, and the youth, they are protesting because they want to remove him. And the governor brought the pictures to him. He told the governors that that's fine. Let them start walking. Let them start trekking. Bokwari the Punisher. Lagos didn't get any special status. 6 years into it, right? And then when Tifnumbu came out with BC Akonde or Shoba and their tomboys, Dakwa Abiodun, the one that is not even bold enough as the governor of Ogun State to come out boldly to tell the people of Ogun State that we have over 10,000 people from Oja Odon in Yewa North local government area who have been refugees in Pobe, in Benin Republic since February 2021. He's not even bold enough to give a press conference and say, my people of Ogun State, there's a problem. The same Dakwa Abiodun joined them in Lagos to give a press conference to say, we don't support all this agitation. We want to build ranches for the Fulani terrorists, blah, 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 blah. Then they were asking for Bokwari to let them create state police. They were asking for Bokwari to let them, to call for national, all this nonsense, like begging. Why people are being killed. So what do you really expect? I'm talking to you now, Egbon. Because it's so easy for you to sit down there in London and say that nobody should go to Lagos State and bring any Oduduwa Republic to Lagos State. Are you not mad? You're sitting in London. And with all of this, and if we ask you, how are we going to get out of all this mess? What are you going to say? Tell us to wait till when? 2023. That's why it's better a person say it in Yoruba. Majority one. But we will not let them continue to call Oriburuku bawa. You know why? You see, all of you who are still pretty much abstaining, you don't know what to do. The Yoruba nation, you don't understand it. Therefore, if the likes of Tifnumbu will put a call through to the military to come and shoot down young people who are protesting to end police brutality, if they could do that. Remember when, before the attack in Lagos and Abuja, their presidency, they called a meeting where the national chairman of the NURTW, Abdul Kadir is something, I don't know, right? They called him in Abuja that they needed them to mobilize their people from all the garages so that they can move them and disperse all the protesters. Some of you have a Stockholm syndrome. Some of you, deliberately, you choose to be idiots. I know. But let me tell you something. You see all of these things, there are consequences. And the only way to curb it is for all of us to understand that you love Tifnumbu and that I don't like him. Doesn't mean that I hate him. I don't hate people. People will tell you that I hate you. Well, to me, hate is a very, very strong word. No matter how much I don't agree with you, I will never hate you. And I would never hate any of these guys. But I don't like them. Yeah? But whether I like them, whether I don't like them, their failure brought us to this level. What is that new thing that you think they would tell you? What is that new thing that you think they would do to change the situation that they cannot be doing right now? At least to remedy the situation. Ask yourself that. Every move they are taking is to make it worse. And as every day, people are being killed. People are becoming that victim. Now, think about that until you become one. Don't worry, it won't be for long. Are you with me? So Tifnumbu called a meeting to go back and meet Bokwari in Abuja that same day. To Abuja to go and tell Bokwari that they have warned our people. But this is something you should know. When he made that political blunder, he decided to dine with the devil. So, because he dined with the devil, he is like the person holding the murder of a deal these killers think they have with the Yoruba people. So, therefore, they want him. He's always been a suspect. That's the saddest part of it. You see, when he was doing his local champion in Lagos, and he was choosing people who can become what and what, and people from Abuja are paying him to continue to maintain his local champion, right? It would have been the best thing for him. But the moment he decided to dine with the devil, he became a suspect. They don't trust him, and he knows that. One of the things they don't trust him with is power. They know he's so terribly corrupt. He's so greedy and selfish, right? They know that they know that they are terrible, but when they see Tifnumbu, they know that the only thing he understands is the only thing that protects his interest, including after being humiliated. Somebody who was bragging everywhere that when Bokwari become president like this, he's going to be the godfather. And all of you know what happened to him after 2015. You know it too. Even his houseboy, Ikene Shatabandu, the fake Pastor Ruga, Oshimbade, you see what they have turned him into. Is now turned to aspire to perspire, to maguire to acquire, then require to retire. That's what he is now, a motivational speaker. You won't even believe that he's part of the government anymore. When he comes out to come and motivate you. So they thought they were going to be in charge. And look at what they did to them. So they did it to them the first time. But the moment they brought a bullion van to Lagos, it was like, no wahala, ranka dede. They say, Baba, where your regular 88, what is it they call themselves again? Your logo. Where you got your 88 logo in your cap? What happened? How come you have suddenly turned to Sabarumo? How come you have suddenly turned to Megida? All of a sudden, you don't become Megida Tifnumbu. On top waiting, Baba. On top waiting. If genuinely, if you didn't buy it, if genuinely you are somebody who have the backing of the Yoruba people, that alone should make you feel so powerful and strong enough that wherever you go, except they adopt your identity, which is that 88 kapabi, well, you're not lying. See how what he turned to now. Look at him. Have you seen his pictures? Have you seen some of these things lately? So, after collecting bullion van, he finally signed his own death warrant politically. And he also signed his own death warrant physically too. So he became a suspect. How come that every time we are investigating him? Every time we are investigating him. He's the one in power. They are the one who brought these people investigating him to power. Even though they told us that they are going to send all of them to jail. And we said, the moment you give us the the jail, the cell number for Tifnumbu when you come to power, will believe you that you want to fight insecurity. So there is something called compromise. The compromise is that they know how much they have wrecked Lagos. They know where they keep most of the money. And that is the compromise on him. Until they no longer have that power, the Fulani jihadists, they own him. No matter what you read in the paper, no matter any insult anybody say about him, no matter whatever they say, forget it. They're no born and well to say anything. And when you now see these unboot slaves, these obedient fools, these sophisticated morons, who don't understand why, if the rally in Lagos State should hold, just same way when the NSAS rally the NSAS rally protest was taking place in Lagos. Now every day that they call the Lagos landlord, will they see you? Will they see what you they do? We know that you are the one funding NSAS, but continue. We don't they show your people with detail or don't they make your prison yard there, Jesse? Continue. This is now second week. You gave them toll gates. You the advertiser okay on the signboard. We are watching. Shall continue. You want to be president, Abi? You are sponsoring people to do NSAS, even though he had no idea about NSAS. That is what is called compromise. For your territory, you want to be president. Continue. Continue to fund NSAS. And to prove to them that he's not funding NSAS, then he called this boy, the one that Ambode said, if you want to know the story of Ade Gator, Governor Point and Kill, Sonwo-Iku, go to Bagada General Hospital, the psychiatric section. They say it's documented. I didn't say that. It was Ambode. He said, if you want to know this guy, go to Bagada General Hospital. But it's classified. He called him. Whoa. You know you are just governor for few months. They are about to declare state of emergency. You better do something. And without anything, as a madman, that one called the military. Please, can you help us? Please, anything you want us to do, we will do. Well, the directive day already. We get plan. We can shoot all of them and kill them. And then now, no soldier. Shall you agree? So of course now, but she make her declare curfew. So you go and declare it now, sharp, without thinking. That same day, October 20, the 20th of October, 2020. Sonwo-Iku declare curfew. 12 o'clock in the afternoon, press statement. Sonwo-Iku said, everybody must be back home by 4 p.m. People said, which one is 4 p.m? Because if you live where you are by 12 noon, if you are lucky, you get home by 4 a.m. Is this guy mad? So he must be mad. Some of you don't know what was going on the ground. And some of those, my friends who have been following Maiyegun's diary Politico, they are not really surprised about what I just said now. It may sound funny to you, but it's not funny. That was what prompted them to decide to burn down Lagos State, to kill the protesters so that they can call it unknown soldier. And what happened? Unknown soldiers. First, they said nobody died. That was the pressure. And the moment they did that, they said, okay, we saw video where military soldiers, they were burning down the toll gates. We saw video where soldiers who just jumped and they moved to the Oriental Hotel, Tinumbu Hotel, and they dismantled the whole place. They burned the front of the hotel. We saw the video that same night. They denied everything. They said, the people, they burn everywhere. We saw them use their BRT bus to mobilize thugs to Alausa. We saw everything on video. They said, no be them. Last, NSAS protest ended. And Boko Haram was like, okay, good boy. Very good boy. Okay. You did well. We'll see it again. Let's see what will happen. And we are watching you. Your Tifnumbu Jaga bandit, the Jaga Were, the Jaga addict that has entered a trap that if all of you understand very well, you will begin to detach yourself. Then there's going to be Yoruba Nation rally. You mean there's going to be a Yoruba Nation rally after Tifnumbu did a press statement and he traveled back to Abuja? Watch this video. Did they deliver a statement in Lagos that they are not in support of Oduduwa Republic and they were begging for restructuring, they were begging for state police, they were begging for blah, blah, blah nonsense that Bokwari has told them now that you are just idiots, you don't understand, you can't get anything. That same night, this is a reminder, they went to the villa. Watch.
What are we looking at?
Condole with him as the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces for the loss of the Chief of the Army Staff. And
I know the officers are men.
And all the other officers. It's a national loss. And to rub mind with him too, to see commitment to humanity. That's it. I'm not a soldier. I'm not a security analyst. It's demoralizing.
We want peace in Nigeria.
It's disheartening. It's sad. What was that? What is the agitation? And where is it coming from? We have already made our position clear that we want a one united, peaceful, stable country, productive and promising. Nigeria is not just a rat village. It's a nation. I want to keep it as one.
That was after they gave a speech in Lagos. They jumped into their private jets, flew to go and see Bokwari, and then he repeated it. What agitation? Nigeria is a one united, prosperous country. Ha 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 ha. Is this the prosperous country that you were promised and you didn't tell us? The one that will kill us? I don't think so. Igbowo and so many other Yorubas are going to be in Lagos on the 3rd of July. And let me just say this to you. Yes, they might be making a lot of mouth and moves and all of that. What they are trying to do is just to make it probably clear that Tifnumbu is not sponsoring Oduduwa Republic. And Lagos State is considered its headquarters of the Agberos, including those ones who are wearing suits. Okay, many of them are Agberos, so they're not normal, but they are, they look like normal people. Okay, but let's go to Ekiti. Okay, there are those who are pretty much loyal to Bokwari than Tifnumbu, more trusted to Boko Haram than Tifnumbu. Ekiti governor is one of them. One of those they have used to clip the wings of Tifnumbu in Southwest for political reason. Yeah? Well, it happened in Ekiti and nothing happened thereafter. Everyone who went returned safely. Same thing will happen in Lagos. Let's take a quick break to Ekiti State, when Oduduwa Nation rally took place. And Igboho Oòṣà, the Jagumolu Yoruba, was there himself. I'm coming to that point where they will say, the reason why I don't like you, this Oduduwa Nation is because why is it Igboho? Can your Tifnumbu please be a Yoruba son if he is one for once and say, I am a proud Yoruba man and I will support my people in Yoruba land if their position is Oduduwa Nation. Let him say it and see if he's going to sleep in Bodilon the same night. But Igboho that you want killed is a liberator. If it's not him, can you give us somebody else who is not already in bed with your killers? Let's go to Ekiti. I will be back.
media bringing the world closer to our doorsteps.
So that was Ekiti. Just this month, by the way. So, which simply means that Yorubas are going to hear the call on the 3rd of July. And like I told you, they can make all the mouth. They can tell you that they are bringing this, they are bringing that. Yes, they can. Do not worry yourself. They dare not. And if they probably try, well, maybe this is actually going to be quicker than we all, in fact, envisaged. So there's one more thing I want to quickly add just before we start taking calls. Or in fact, I might have an opportunity of adding that to my own conversation when I begin to take calls. So if you want to be part of the broadcast tonight, you can, possibly make the call now. So we'll take off for another